This is Brad A. Milford with the Unlimited Business Wisdom Podcast, where leaders, seasoned entrepreneurs, and business owners share their wisdom. It's straight to the point to respect people's time, and because we know knowledge and wisdom turn to business possibility, and possibility mixed with support and action become reality. In this podcast, we discuss leadership, sales, marketing, operations, team development, quality, and finance to drive sustainable results and everlasting impact to make the world a better place. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, my friends, and thanks for joining me for another special episode of the Unlimited Wisdom Podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about something that I see all over the interwebs. So these special episodes are designed to be able to deliver you some actionable information based on some of the things that I'm seeing, some of the mistakes I'm seeing, some of the conversations, some of the broad topics that we can deliver some actionable steps that you can use today to implement to be able to improve your business. And so I look out and look, I've had a love-hate relationship with this topic, so it'll be interesting and we'll share some time together. But I see when I look into the over the horizon of business, I see a lot of people who are struggling with niche, right? They misunderstand niche. There's a lot of conflicting information about niches out there in the interwebs, in the internet today, on the online space, in the social space. And a lot of people give, frankly, they give information that is not all that relevant and it's messy at best. So we're going to eliminate that problem today. We're going to give you some steps, some real true steps that you can take to implement to find a niche specialty. And we're going to give you the advantages and the benefits and the step-by-step actionable information. And I'm going to offer you a few tools as well as we go through this. So hopefully this will be powerful for you. Stick with us through to the end so that you can learn everything you need to know, all you need to know about niches, right? And we can get this once and for all. One of the biggest challenges that I see is a lot of people look at it as a boundary, not a launching pad. And it is, a niche is a launching pad. It's not a boundary, right? It's not something that's going to pigeonhole you. It's not going to, it's not a blind spot. It's like, there's a lot of fear associated with niches. Like, is it going to keep me pigeonholed, right? Is it going to eliminate clients? And we're going to talk through that. I'm going to eliminate that mindset issue today through an illustration, right? Verbal illustration. Let's be aware of that. Like, a lot of people struggle with this. Niche can be like peeling back an onion, right? But don't allow it to be a psychological hurdle, right? If you want to identify your dream client, which we've done some trainings on and some talks about in the past, and I'll continue to do those, then you need to know what your specialty niche is, right? So you can identify your ideal client. Your ideal dream client, these two things are tied together. They're integrated, right? The more you know about your specialty niche, the more you will know about your ideal dream client. So some of that marketing stuff like avatars and ideal dream clients and stuff gets confusing if you haven't been trained in marketing, or if you've been trained on the internet. It's not, by a specialist. So we're going to talk through that in this episode. So here we go. Just remember, it's a launching pad, not a boundary. Super important point as we go through this, right? So basically, this is going to be everything you need to know about niches, how to find your niche specialty, and this will be a step-by-step guide. So even verbally, this will be great. It's the advantages of having a niche specialty and how to determine and decide what's best, right? It seems nearly everyone is some self-proclaimed influencer side hustler these days. And nowadays, you're right to assume that you need a brand or niche specialty for which you're well known. It's very important to make growing your business easier and to ensure your success. You'll want to stand apart from the crowd, right? And position yourself distinctly, right, from any oversaturated markets. So this is one foundational piece in order to be able to do that. The truth is, no matter your umbrella industry or your expertise, there's one phrase that will always be relevant in marketing, and that is the riches are in the niches. There's a reason why that's said so often, and I know you've heard that because it's a common statement. So let's just start by summarizing what we're going to cover. So we're going to cover, what is a niche? Do you really need it? Will you push customers away if you dive into a niche? What are some niche advantages? And how to determine your niche in 9 steps. And by the end, you'll have a very crystal clear path on how to determine that. And you won't longer have to hear all that nonsense out there that's out there in the world today. So, what is a niche? Most novices aren't new to the idea of a niche, but all too often people confuse it with target audience or avatar or ideal clients, or some people just think it's a gimmick, but it's actually a very purposeful tool if you understand how to use it. Right tool, right time, right place, right? And so it's a very powerful tool. It's meant to be a tool to find a specific solution to a specific problem for your ideal client or customer. So that's basically what a niche is. Right now, do you need one? Well, and this is why it's confusing and why there's a lot of conflicting information out there. The truth is, yes and no. It's complicated, right? So, do you need a niche? Here's how I have fun with this, right? Do you need a niche to have a brand? Well, the answer to that is no. But that's like asking the question, does your business really need a website? Well, technically, your business doesn't have to have a website, but isn't it better to have one than not to have one? I mean, won't it lend to your credibility, and won't it also lend to, I mean, if you have it set up right, it's a great tool. A website is a great tool, right? You can have forms on there, opt-ins, automations, all kinds of stuff. I mean, that's where websites become powerful. So do you technically need it? No, but it's better to have the one than not have one, right? Same is true with niche. Does your business need to have a funnel? Well, no, it doesn't. But doesn't it make sales conversations and conversions a lot easier? It does. Do you have to have an email list? Well, no. But will it drive more profits? Absolutely. That's why we talk about lists all the time. So just other analogies, right? Do you have to have a niche? The answer is no. But will it lend to profitability and productivity and easier copywriting and all this fun stuff? The answer is absolutely. It's a tool that will help with all those things. So it is worth your time to listen to the whole episode and the 9 steps to be able to determine your niche specialty. A niche is ultimately an FAQ or fact sheet, right? To magnetize the casual browser or prospective consumer. When people browse your site, they want to know if you can help them, right? What's in it for them? Can you help them? Is it going to solve the problem or issue that they're experiencing, right? Is it going to help them achieve their desire? That's what niche helps with. It helps you attract your ideal customers and clients. So will you push away customers by determining your niche? This is a big thing, and I'm not sure why there is such a psychological mindset issue here, but niching down means that you'll be catering to one subset of clients over another. It doesn't mean you're going to lose out on business. I'm going to say that again. It does not mean that you're going to lose out on business. This is what everybody fears, right? I'm going to give you an analogy here in just a moment that I think is going to help you break that barrier. It's going to help you eliminate that blocker, right? But knowing your niche specialty, who you're speaking to specifically, and the exact problem you're solving for them is going to position you as an expert. That's the advantage. In turn, it's going to empower you to serve at a higher level, to charge higher rates, and to focus on the precise solutions or problems your prospects want to solve. The advantages, the benefits are far exceed doing the small amount of research that you'll need to do to begin to determine your specialty niche or your niche specialty. Okay. So here I'm going to drop in an analogy. And this is something that I teach in one of the mastermind groups and classes, master classes that I offer. And I think it's going to serve you well. Just on a podcast, I'm not be able to share my screen, but I'm going to illustrate to you. So conversation, sometimes, illustration is better than conversation. So I want you to picture this in your mind's eye. All right. So I speak publicly in in large rooms sometimes. And so if you could just picture speaking, someone speaking on a stage or me speaking on a stage, and there's 1,000 people in the room. Okay. And I'm going to ask these 1,000 people if they're interested in some food. And I'm going to ask them to raise their hand. So 1,000 people in the room. And I say, hey, everybody, are you interested in some food right now? And typically somewhere in the range of maybe 100 people might raise their hand and say, yeah, I'm interested in some food. And so then for this illustration, I'm going to take that one notch deeper. And I'm going to say, hey, everybody. Okay. So about 100 people are interested in food. Who here in the room is interested right now in maybe who wants a snack? So we're going to take this one notch deeper, right? Who wants a snack? Who in the room wants a snack? So now we've taken it from the very broad category of just general food. Now we've we've niched it down, if you want, and we've brought it down to snack. Now about 200 people may raise their hand, definitely more than the original, right? Because now we're getting more specific, right? So now we have more. Now we want to take that down another notch, right? In this illustration. Now I'm going to say, all right, everybody, thank you so much. Who in this room right now, out of 1,000 people, wants some dessert? And now we're starting to get in some interest. And I imagine, playing along with this example, you understand that more people are going to raise their hand. Now we've raised some eyebrows, right? We've maybe even gotten to the point where some people have, mouths that are starting to water, right? Oh, dessert. Okay. Now I'm interested. Now you have my attention, right? And in this fourth illustration, I'm going to say to the room, who here in the room would like some chocolate covered strawberries? And now, as you can imagine, so many more people raise their hands. See, this is the power of niche. So using this illustration at the one level, broad category, you have your industry, right? And below industry, you want to just break that down, okay, a notch. And you want to go to your market. So you've got industry, you've got market, you've got niche, and then you have niche specialty. When you get to the niche specialty level, right? So I niche down in the master classes I teach 4 levels. When you get to niche specialty, so many more people raise their hands. You can speak to them at a deeper level. You speak to them more directly, more precisely. You create more interest, not less interest. It's not a boundary. See, it's when you use this tool properly, you start to capture more people. And so hopefully this mental exercise will help you eliminate that psychological barrier that so many people carry when it comes to niche. Niche specialty will allow you to speak very specifically to your prospects and clients. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. We want to get to the chocolate covered strawberries in this. And so in order to do that, so here's some of the advantages, right? Here's some of the advantages, and then we'll get to the 9 steps. When you're ready to take your business or brand to the next level, there are top tips for determining and deciding your niche. So some of the advantages: reduce competition. Targeting a niche market reduces the competition so you can dominate over business generalists. And let's face it, there's lots of those in the market today, right? There's lots of generalists. And if you want to target and attract those who are looking for specialized services, then you need to offer specialized services, right? Like think very specific professional, like attorneys, business attorneys, or, brain surgeons or heart surgeons, like very specialized services, right? So that's part of the advantage of having a niche specialty, right? Even if there are competitors in that niche, you can stand out in unique ways through your value proposition. Another training I'll be holding coming up soon. Value propositions, very important stuff in business. So consider these. You can offer better customer service, right? So added service benefits. That is one way to stand out, to reduce competition. Pricing your services competitively, right? If you're willing to do the research to see what's out there in the market today, then you can specialize based on your price. Utilizing high specialized skills or new technologies. This is really important, right? Everybody has a brilliance within them, right? It's what I help people release. And so, there's this essence inside of them. There's these strengths and these talents and these gifts that we have. And so you couple those with your niche specialty, and now you have a true differentiator from the competition. So that's number one, reduced competition. Two, better business loyalty by providing specific solutions for your clients. You can foster trust and loyalty, right? This is how people attract to you. By specializing, you'll have fewer customers who are generalists, while at the same time increasing the probability of acquiring loyal customers. So not only do you want to be a specialist, but you also want your clients and customers to be specialists. Wouldn't you want somebody who's looking for a niche specialty and rather than somebody who just wants to be a generalist? So it goes both ways, right? So tapped in, better business loyalty. Number two. Number three is instant differentiation. So we've talked about differentiation a little bit, but it's so important. With globalization in the age of the internet, it's becoming increasingly challenging for businesses to stand out. This is another way, to differentiate. Being a niche specialist helps establish higher credibility compared to more generalized organizations that cater to many industries and individuals. So very important. So in summary, 1, reduce competition, 2, better business loyalty, 3, instant differentiation, and 4, higher pricing. More personalized services demand a higher price because it displays specialized knowledge, like we said, with the brain surgeon or the heart surgeon, right? More specialized knowledge, more skills, more abilities, and a greater return on investment. Greater solutions and higher value delivered equals higher level pricing. I'm just going to say that one more time. Greater solutions and higher value delivered equals higher level pricing. So important. So if you want to up your game, this is how you do it. So how to determine and decide your niche market in 9 steps, right? So now we know what a niche market is. A niche market is a subset of a larger market, right? Industry, market, niche specialty. That's what we're shooting for. We're shooting to get to the chocolate covered strawberries, right? So step 1, the way you start this process, some people say it's like peeling back an onion. I like to think it's more like getting to the center of a Tootsie Pop for anybody who remembers that. But we definitely want to get to the core, right? We want to get to the foundation. We want to get to the crux of things, right? So the way you start that, step 1, is make a list of your passions and interests, right? Passion is a powerful thing in business, right? We don't want to just solely pursue our passions only. There's a lot of talk about that, but we actually want to test the market in those things. Sometimes passion will lead us in a challenging place business wise. So we need to test and evaluate. Testing and evaluating is always really important, but passion is a powerful driving force. So, doing something you don't care about increases the chances of failure. But on the other hand, doing what you like or love in business will help you stick with it. So it is a powerful force. So we want to start finding if you want to start finding your specialty niche, first thing you want to do is list 10 things that you're interested in about your talents, your passions, your strength, like things that you love to do. That's a starting place, right? So what I encourage you to do is this simple exercise: find a quiet spot free from distractions and just start a list in a document or sheet or on a piece of paper. It doesn't make any difference. Just list the areas of your interests, right? Now, if you don't know what your interests are, if you've never done any training, I have a complete list. It has like 200 different interests. I am happy to give you that PDF. I've had it for years. I've done lots of training around that, finding your purpose and interest and all that kind of stuff. Now, if you're interested in that, just shoot me a message and I'm happy to shoot it to you. It's a simple little tool. You can just print it out and circle, your interests. But hopefully you've done that and you have a good feel in knowing yourself already about what your interests are. And you can list at least 10 things that you're passionate about, you're interested in. All right. So list those. And then what you want to do, all right, once you have those lists, that list created, you want to actually, beside them, write your expectations of the things that you want to achieve with regard to those passions. What are some of the things that you'd like to achieve? Right? What are the challenges you've encountered or you've seen other people encounter with regard to that interest, right? Just write that right next to it. And then after finishing that list and the expectations and the challenges, then prioritize it from 1 to 10. Okay? Super simple. Prioritize it. For those of you who know me, I'm a list person. So I'm constantly organizing things, throwing them in buckets, categorizing them, prioritizing them. Super powerful, right? I encourage you. Look, this won't take you very long. And I know some of you listening won't do it, but I'm going to encourage you anyway. I want to encourage you to pause or revisit this and actually do the work, actually take the action, actually execute, right? So this is a great starting point. You'll gain some clarity from this. It's well worth the time involved. So that's step 1. Step 2, determine what you can solve. Now that you've got some things on paper and you've gotten started, it's a great step. It's the biggest challenge most companies and most people have is they just don't get started. So now we've removed that barrier, right? We've gotten started. We have a list. Now, step 2 is determine what you can solve. So look at that list. After writing it down, it's time to figure out what problems your target customers face and those problems that you can actually solve. So this helps you think of better ways of dealing with those issues or problems or the desires that the clients have. And so you can find other methods and means to solve those problems that they think they can't overcome. That's part of how you deliver service, right? So, for example, you may decide, to specialize in bookkeeping for like real estate firms, right? So that's just an example. You may learn all about bookkeeping related problems and issues that those firms face and how you can solve those issues. Or let's say, as another illustration, let's say you're in the restaurant industry, something I know a lot about. And so maybe you're looking to save managers time through some kind of product or service you offer in order to be able to serve the restaurant people. In restaurants, time, that is a fast-paced industry all the way around. And so if you're able to save people time, that would be one of the issues. So what are some of the other problems that they face and how can you solve them? That's how you dive into niche specialty. You can see specific examples. You begin to see very specific problems. So the ways you can learn more about your target customers' pain points is to talk to people in the industry, learn about their pain points, anticipate their problems so that you can ask appropriate questions. But I want to caution you, avoid talking over them, right? When you begin to ask some questions of people in the industry, you exercise active listening, right? And listen because they may provide a perspective different from what you initially thought. You may think one thing, but after speaking with some people in the industry, something may come to light. So I encourage you, active listening is so important, but engage with people in the industry. That's one way you could do it. 2, you can also utilize the internet for marketing research. So few people actually use the internet for one of the most powerful ways you can engage in the internet, right? It's for market research. So visit online forums and pages that talk about your selected niche and learn from their discussions, what they're saying. Look, people complain all over the internet. So if you're in those forums, if you're in those Facebook groups, if you're in those, you're going to capture their words, capture their literal words. This is called market research, right? You can also search for related keywords of your niche specialty to help you uncover popular search terms that are useful. That gets a little more tactical and technical, but it's very powerful. And this is especially helpful when you create a blog or adding more pages to your business website and, that kind of stuff, SEO. So that's step 2. So step 1, make a list of your passions and interests and prioritize it. Step 2, determine what you can solve. Step 3, research your competitors. So few people do competitive research. I want to encourage you to be different. Don't be average, be spectacular, right? Once you've identified a potential niche or even niche specialty, don't back away immediately if you see there are already competitors specializing in that niche. In truth, this is a signal that that particular niche has a proven pocket of Demand. Yes, key phrase there. A pocket of demand. That's what you're looking for as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. We're constantly looking for pockets of demand. I'm going to go on a tangent here for just a moment with a little tip. Many newbies, or new entrepreneurs, people who are new to business, right? I say this lovingly. Many new people in business, they try to educate their market. Okay. And that's what they think their job is. They start educating. That is not the best way to do business. That is a piece of a way to do business, but that is not the full seat. I see people, they pick up something they're passionate about and they start screaming from the rooftops and they start posting billboards everywhere, metaphorically speaking. And they just like talk about it. And they're trying to educate people and try to, coerce them into buying their products. And that is not a good way to go in business. That is a hard way to go. You're making things harder than they need to be. If you do the research, on the other hand, smart business, right? We want to work smart, not hard. Smart business is actually finding the pockets of demand that already exist and finding the traffic, the audiences out there who hold these pockets of demand, right? And then putting the product and service that the people are actually looking for already and they're aware of, they're aware that they need a solution for this thing, and then just putting that in front of those people. That is smart business. So that's some of the things that we talk about in product market fit and some of the things I teach in master classes. It's a little bit deeper, but there's a nugget for you, right? There's just a quick little tip for you. Look for the pockets of demand, people that are already seeking a solution to a specific thing. This is what niche specialties allow you to be able to do. So this is a way you stand out from the competition. Conduct your competitive analysis. This will help you identify your customers' standing in the market, which products and services they offer and are already in demand or are already unsuccessful. This will give you clarity, right? And then how they advertise their goods and services, right? So you can do a little advertising hacking, advertisement hacking. So important. So, thanks to the internet, it's now more easy than ever to do competitor research. So there's no reason, there's no excuse not to do it. You can just search online for potential customers in your niche or niche specialty and then compile the information in a spreadsheet. Now, everybody that knows me knows I have tools for everything. So that's another thing I have. I have this great spreadsheet that I created that collects all these categories as different tabs. So you basically just collect the information. You just drop the links in the tab and it tells you exactly what to have. And if that's something you're interested in, then again, just shoot me a message and just say, hey, Brad, I heard you on your podcast about niche specialties. And you said you had a spreadsheet for competitor research. May I have that, please? And I'll be happy to supply that to you. So eventually it'll be up on my website, but I don't have it up there yet. But just shoot me a message and I'm happy to give it to you. No opt-in, nothing, just quick and easy. All right. But after you research, you'll be able to figure out areas of opportunity for your business. So it'll include finding your unique selling proposition, which is another training I have coming up. So important, or unique, brilliant selling proposition, as I like to say, and how you can rank better through online search engine marketing, SEM, or search engine optimization, SEO. So, SEM, if the competition isn't using paid advertising already, then you can take advantage of certain keywords and you can use them to tip the scales in your favor, right? So popular, so important. And, SEO, if competitors may be neglecting their online content, such as blogs or websites. And so you can create high quality content to your target market and begin to dominate that competition. So quick tactical tips there, quick strategies for you, but there's all kinds of things that you can do, but you've got to get to the niche specialty in order to be able to do that. So shoot for an authentic, approachable online presence. Also, some competitors may remain too stiff or corporate. Look, you've all seen it out there. You can do the opposite to show prospects you're there to help and to serve. That's what it's about, right? We're in the people business. So be different. So that's step 3, which is research your competitors. So some good info there. Step 4, learn. We're going to zip through these next ones pretty quickly, right? So learn the profitability of your niche. Now, if you've done step 1, 2, and 3, okay, Then step 4 is just learn about the profitability. Is it profitable? Right? We're determining a specialty niche. Is it profitable? At this point, you gotta have narrowed your preferred niche. The next step is to determine the earning potential in that niche. Do you really want to jump into something that's not profitable and waste your time? Your time is precious. It's valuable. Your energy is precious and valuable. So maximize the use of the internet research. So little work to gain so many benefits, right? So maximize the use of the internet research to see how many companies offer the services you plan to offer. Is it an underserved market? Will you have the greatest earning potential in that niche? Make sure to capture the price points in that spreadsheet I was talking about, or the one you create, or whatever you use. Capture that data and put it somewhere so you can actually look at it and evaluate the data. So important. Determine the profitability. Okay. Make sure that it's actually profitable. It's going to be profitable for you before you dive in. Step 5, monitor that niche market. Look, so I like to say marinate, right? So if you're going to monitor, maybe you just want to marinate in some of the data and just pause for a week or so as you're doing this research, right? Part of the process of finding a niche market is to do your due diligence. And in order to do that, maybe you want to let it stew or you want to marinate it in it for a week or two. Right? We don't have to rush into it, jump in, dive in, and build your wings on the way down or build the airplane in the air. With regard to niche, you can actually do a little bit of testing and just let it stew. So continue studying, update your knowledge. This helps discover unmet needs, and this will provide new solutions to you too, right? Look for national and international trends or key industry players. Maybe you want to collect those on that spreadsheet that I was saying. Government regulations, are there any? What new opportunities, what new skills, what new technologies, are needed, right? Those things are really powerful. So keeping up to date on new skills and technologies will actually put you at the forefront, right? It will contribute to your unique selling proposition, and it will help you become more productive and profitable. So somebody that hasn't done this niche work and has been in the industry for many, many times, actually, a lot of times they'll be behind, right? Or they'll be stagnated or they'll be stiffened, so you can be different. So stay on the lookout for tutorials and online courses that will help build your skills and broaden your knowledge about topics within your niche, right? So important. So that's number 5, monitor your monitor the niche market or let it marinate. Step 6, gain a higher perspective of the industry. Now, this is really important. When you identify your niche specialty, it's also important to look outward. Now, for those of you who hear me speak a lot, I usually say go within or go without. And that's a mindset thing, right? And it's very true. But when it comes to marketing, we want to do something different. We actually want to look outside, right? We want to get outside of our bubble, and when we want to look from a different perspective, we want to use some perspective sharing, right? You want to get out of your niche. You want to get out of your industry. You want to get out of your market for a little bit and get a multiple perspectives, get a different view, share a different paradigm, right? This will help you succeed within your industry and market. And so it's worth noting here that it's different than what we teach than in self-development than what we teach in, marketing development or business development, or business mechanics. So getting outside of yourself, right? Getting a higher perspective, 50,000 foot view, different perspectives will actually help you. It'll help, show how the current markets operate, right? Too few people think the market stagnates, but markets change. So you want to get a good overall view of that. You want to figure out who the biggest players are and what is their path to success. Reverse engineer some of that, right? And you want to see how you'll fit into the market in a great way. To do this, you can attend industry events, you can connect with others in the industry, you can get on the phone with them, you can do Zoom calls, you can also try interviews on podcasts, and you can also listen to podcasts. This will help you gain some data and gain a different perspective, right? Once you've made a choice about a specialty niche, you can begin to create a roadmap for your success as well. So highly encourage you to begin to create a roadmap. If you don't have a business model already, if you don't have a roadmap and you don't have a coach, I highly recommend that for obvious reasons. If you don't have a business coach, at least do yourself a favor and start to create a step-by-step roadmap, right? This is a foundational piece, niche specialties and that kind of thing. It's a foundational piece, but do yourself a favor and start to capture these, start to map these out, start to create a GPS, a step-by-step of what's upcoming, right? Do yourself a favor and start to create that roadmap, or connect with someone that already has one that's proven. Either or, but you'll do yourself a disservice if you don't start looking at the roadmap ahead, right? When you create when you create your niche specialty in your markets and industries. And so that is step 6, gain a higher perspective of the industry. 7, there's just a couple left here. Test your idea. This is so important. Test, evaluate, test, evaluate, test, evaluate, right? So few people jump in, they grab something, they start screaming about it, and they dive in and they start pushing it on people, as I've said before. And so few people do the research and then actually do some testing to see what actually works. One of the analogies I use sometimes is like stepping stones. So if you're like crossing the river to the other side to something that might be better, then you want to leap to a stepping stone and you want to pause and you want to look around and you want to evaluate to see if that step is going to be the most effective step to get you to the other side. And so few people, I mean, some people just leap, 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 leap. And then they find that they're leaping across, but they're not really getting across the river or whatever analogy you want to use. So just test and evaluate. It's very important. After researching as much as you can about your niche, it's time to put your knowledge, skills, and ability to the test. And in this step, you'll execute a plan and evaluate the results. First step is to generate interest within your niche, right? The way you do this is you begin to set up or improve. So maybe you've been in business, but you didn't niche down and you're realizing now you need it. So if you're in that situation, this is applicable as well. So it's either to set up or improve your online presence through both organic and inorganic marketing. That's free and paid, right? Those things should be integrated to get the most effective results. So that's a different training. We cover that in my mastermind and some other classes I offer, but understanding the difference between free and paid and organic and inorganic and how those integrate and those kinds of things and how you can do that cost effectively. But that's how you want to do it. Start by creating a landing page featuring the services you intend to offer, right? Testing. You get to hook or bait the potential customers by offering a flash promotion or offering a free trial for your services within a specific time frame, or offering extra bonuses for your service or bundles for a limited time. Offer social media contests or giveaway, branded gifts. There's so many different ways, but you want to begin to test, right? Test and evaluate. You want to get the optimum results, then you've got to measure, right? What gets measured gets done. So you don't want to just maintain, you want to maximize. So these are just a few of the ways to gain interest. Maximize your social media accounts to advertise your offer organically, but to really get the biggest bang for your buck and the fastest and most condensed results, you're going to want to couple that with paid advertising. So you could take what would take months or even years organically, can condense that down to a week or even 2. 2 weeks or even a week, depending on how much you invest. It's gonna condense those results. Either way, test and evaluate before you leap with regard to niche, because it is like peeling the onion. You do want to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop. Step 8, conduct. And I'm going to tell you, look, this is one that, I teach, and even though I teach it and I've done it, so few people actually take the steps. So I'm just going to tell you this, and I'm going to encourage you to be different. Don't be average. Be spectacular, right? Be excellent. Don't be mediocre. Do something different. So conduct a few client surveys. I'm not sure why people are so fearful and prevent themselves from actually setting themselves up for success, but client surveys are easy. After a client has finished a trial period, or if they walk through your product for a week or two, why not ask them to answer a survey about their experience? Look, it doesn't even need to be through email or all this stuff that we see for these big conversations. Offer to get on a face-to-face video call or phone call with them. That will show them how much you care, right? Prepare a specific short list of questions that will help you evaluate how you performed. Be sure to capture their suggestions for improvement. They may offer you a solution or recommendation. They will likely offer you a solution or recommendation that you haven't considered. It's so powerful, yet so few people do it. And I'm going to make another offer to you. Again, free resource. I have so many tools to offer. I have very specific forms created for various market research or client surveys. And so if that's not something you have, don't recreate the wheel. Like reach out, send me a message and say, hey, I'd love to have a client survey form. I use Google for that kind of thing. And it's really powerful. And you just either walk through a client, walk through that information with the client on face-to-face or video call, or just, ask them, hey, would you be willing to, answer 10 questions that will help me improve? It's in order to serve you best. Powerful stuff. So that is client service. And the last step, step 9. Once you've done that work, which is well worth the effort, if you actually do these steps, it will save you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and so much pain and heartache and time, yet so few people do it. So hopefully these steps have eliminated the confusion or misinformation or conflicting information that you may have heard in the past. Just do the work. After you've done steps 1 through 8, then you begin to market your niche. So after you've put your idea to the test, you've evaluated your experience, and you've proved feasibility of your minimum viable offer, because that's what you just did. Then it's time to go all in and advertise your business to those who need and want your products and services, right? Not before that, after you've done the research. So I'm going to pause here and divert with one last tip for you. The statement that I just said, there's a difference between an offer and a product. So few people, I teach this in product market fit in one of my master classes, but so few people understand the difference between offer and product. And the product is, you don't actually have to have the product all the time to be able to make an offer. That's a key thing that you need to know. So this is a little tip. You can create an offer. I like to say create an offer out of thin air for a product that you don't yet have, for one you're going to create. Okay. The offer is simply this. So where people get confused. The offer is the outward appearance of the thing. So the copywriting, the packaging, like those kinds of things. It's the outward appearance. It's what people see. It's the outward appearance of the marketing, right? The product itself is the delivery mechanism, all for the transformation or the service that you provide, right? So you got an offer and you've got a product. You can offer it without actually having the final product. So you've probably heard minimum viable product, but few people have heard minimum viable offer. And so what this does is, with walking through these steps, proves your minimum viable offer. If you've done these steps, or if you do these steps, you'll begin to realize, like, oh, people do want this, or people don't want this, or there's interest, or there's not interest. And so you prove the feasibility of your minimum viable offer. It's so powerful, yet so few people do it. It's so time saving and money saving. So after you've proven your minimum viable offer, then it's time to go all in and advertise your business to those who need. In addition to optimizing, there's so many things that you can do. You can optimize your landing page. You can optimize with organic traffic, using paid traffic. You can ask your satisfied clients to include a link on their profile to be able to promote your sites. You can use strategic partnerships and business referrals from happy customers. They go a long way in helping you grow and scale. There's many things that you can do. There's many tactics and strategies, and I'm always, another offer for you, I'm always willing to hop on a high positioning strategy call with you, walk through some, barriers, blockers and barriers, create a clear plan and path for you. I'm always happy to do that. It's a place of service. We're in the people business, right? It's my specialty. It's what I do. So if you ever want that, just reach out and let me know. But I trust these steps will help you deliver a high level impact. That's what this is about. We want to create the world, make it a better place. When you go from industry to market to niche specialty, it's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer. So these 9 steps, right? Step 1, make a list of your interests. Step 2, very powerful stuff. Determine what you can do for your clients, right? What you can actually solve. Step 3, research your competitors. Just do the work. Step 4, learn the profitability of your niche. Make sure it's profitable before you step deep into it, right? Step 5, monitor your niche market. Step 6, gain a higher perspective of the industry. Like, get out of your bubble, right? Step 7, test your idea and evaluate. Step 8, conduct client surveys. Look, do yourself a favor and do like 10 client surveys. It won't take you very long at all, and you will gain massive benefits from it. And step 9, then go ahead and market your niche. Look, my friend, whatever you do, okay, be a connector. Build solid relationships with people in and out of your industry, in and out of your market, in and out of your niche. Relationships are the key to high level success. The truth is, your network is your net worth. And so I imagine you've heard that, but it's true. We're in the people business. So I truly hope these steps will help you deliver a high level impact. Go out, go forth, and serve brilliantly. I wish you all the freedom, the wealth, and the brilliance that you deserve and you desire. I look forward to connecting with you in the next special podcast. Thanks for joining me in this podcast for all you need to know about niches. Thanks for joining me. Cheers.
This is Brad A. Milford with the Unlimited Business Wisdom Podcast, where leaders, seasoned entrepreneurs, and business owners share their wisdom. If you're looking for more on leadership, sales, marketing, or operations to drive team development, higher quality, and high-level sustainable profits, we encourage you to join the Built for Brilliance community on Facebook or reach out to us about one of our mastermind groups, coaching or consulting, or even fractional COO services. You can reach us at buildbrilliance.net/contact. We thank you for listening, for sharing the show, and appreciate your rating and reviews, as this makes more shows possible. Thanks for joining us.